Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and as you can tell from the title of this video, I recently spent around $1,700 on Tesla stock, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down these recent purchases and basically showing you the exact price that I paid for each individual share out of the two shares, and of course, then I'll be explaining why I'm still purchasing this stock near the all-time high share price, and then after that, we'll go farther into the logistics of the company in terms of like a breakdown of their future, what's coming up soon, and how they're going to increase productivity and of course sales as well in the future. And of course, as many of you all know, we recently had the Tesla Model 3 take over California and beat the Honda Civic and the Toyota Camry in terms of sales. And if you don't already know, the Model 3 is a much more expensive vehicle than the Honda Civic. So that's on a side note, but before we begin, I do have to say, if you enjoy these videos, please absolutely obliterate that like button. Just show me some love. Even if you're a new viewer here and you're not familiar with the channel, for one thing, maybe consider subscribing. But if you do enjoy Tesla content, feel free to drop a like on the video. It just takes a few seconds. And for one thing, I really appreciate it. And for another thing, it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And I've really been trying to grow this channel here. I've been putting a lot of work into it lately and doing many videos, sometimes more than one video a day. So with that on the side note, I really do appreciate the support and the love, and also maybe consider turning on notifications for this channel. That way when I do a transparency update video like this, such as me purchasing a stock or something, the earlier you are to that video is basically like an update of what I'm purchasing lately. So it's kind of like me texting you all and saying I recently bought this stock. So when you all have notifications on and you're earlier to the videos, it means you're more up to date on the moves that I'm making than some of the other people that may view the video later on. Now that that's all out of the way, let's talk about Tesla. Let's talk about my baby. This stock right here is my favorite to cover, obviously, and that's actually surprising considering I have more money in Microsoft if you break down the equities right here. But I think Tesla is by far the most interesting company and the most interesting stock in the stock market. That's fully just my opinion, but it has been an absolute roller coaster with Tesla this past year, and I can only imagine the shareholders of this stock before the stock actually blew up. I mean, especially people that started investing way back in like 2015, and then of course at this low point in 2016. So it's definitely been a roller coaster ride, but if you look at the past year, it's even more of a roller coaster ride. So we have had a lot of action, and of course, when Tesla hit near its all-time highs, it actually went even past 917. I think I bought it like 948 or like 935. So I bought this stock near all-time highs. I held it through the dip, and of course I'm still holding on to it right now as we are reaching that number once again. But people thought I was absolutely insane for buying this stock near an all-time high. And of course back then when I did purchase the stock at these peaks, of course there was some aspects of fear of missing out, FOMO, and I had a general understanding of the company in the future, and I knew that it would do well. But especially recently, I've done a lot more research. I've watched many documentaries, many video conferences, breakdowns, analyses, tons of that stuff. Very useful content over the past few months or so. And I've really been adding to my portfolio. I did hold about only 2 stocks just towards the beginning of this year within this time range right here. But now I own 27 shares of this stock. So a significant amount, about $23,000 worth of Tesla stock, which in my opinion is a pretty big investment. I mean, it takes up almost 30% of my portfolio. And even with Monday, by the way, I do expect Monday to be a green day for us. Unless the overall general stock market trend is just terrible, it's all red, then I think that we will have a good day for Tesla on Monday, especially given the most recent success with the SpaceX launch. Absolutely wonderful event, may I say so myself. I was so excited to see that happen. And honestly, I think the hype behind that was even better considering that there were like weather issues on the 27th, so they had to restart everything and re-hype everything back up. And honestly, I think that made people get even more excited about the event because, of course, we kind of got teased at first on the 27th, and then finally on Saturday, we were really hoping that the event would actually happen, and it did so successfully. And then, of course, we got an awesome Elon Musk speech, and the crew were in Tesla vehicles as well. So I don't really know what more you could ask for in terms of a good day for Tesla stock, especially on Monday. I'm hoping that it will be positive, and I do think that a lot of this is already priced in on Friday. So if we do have like an insignificant day in terms of growth on Monday, I won't really be surprised, because a lot of the times when it comes to the stock market, just a quick tip, the stock market factors in things before they happen. So that's why you have a lot of hype before earnings on a lot of these stocks out here. For example, if it's expected that earnings is going to do well, honestly, in my opinion, some of the best things that you can do with that if you're making a play on earnings is to sell before earnings actually come out if you expect the earnings to be good. And I know that happened with like Domino's Pizza or something. The stock was like the highest up until earnings, and even though it did well with earnings, I think investors ended up making less money than they would have if they had just simply sold before the earnings had revealed, because it was pretty much already known that Domino's was going to beat earnings for Q1 2020. And of course, when the earnings finally happened for Domino's, the day that was released, the stock market actually was negative. So basically the lesson here is investors and the stock market often price in things early on. So what we saw on Friday could actually mean that we might not see a significant movement on Monday. However, I do think a significant movement is still going to happen just because of the hype around Tesla and SpaceX right now. But like I said, I would not be surprised if we don't see as much movement as expected, because like I said, things are factored in earlier than normal when it comes to the stock market. So I do think that's a pretty cool piece of information to keep in mind if you aren't familiar with that already. But just moving back onto the main topic, which is me addressing my recent purchases of Tesla stock, I'll go ahead and show you exactly what I paid for this stock. I purchased 2 shares at a price of $837.60 at a total of $1,675.20, and that was at 5:58 p.m. on Friday. So just 2 minutes before after hours trading had closed for Robinhood. My whole plan for Friday was to buy 2 shares before the day ended, before I lost my opportunity to purchase more, because I knew the SpaceX launch would be successful. Like I said, I'm a Tesla bull and I really love Elon Musk, and I do a lot of fact checking, I do a lot of research, and I was like 100% confident that this SpaceX event was going to go well. Not 100% obviously, but for the majority, I was confident in this launch and I knew that it would go well. So that is why I purchased 2 more shares before the end of the trading hours for Robinhood, because I had a good feeling that everything would go over well and that the stock would perform well Monday. And for another thing, I want to purchase this at this price before it even goes farther on and gets into the thousands range, because I think that's definitely possible coming up soon if there isn't another stock market crash. I think Tesla's biggest enemy right now is not any form of competition. It's not any form of electric vehicle competition. It's not Waymo. It's not Amazon. It's not Rivian. In the short term, within the next few months or so, Tesla's biggest competition right now is a stock market crash. That's what's going to cause the stock to go lower in value the most. And obviously, it's going to influence the whole stock market as well. But if there is another stock market crash, that is where a lot of the Tesla Q people come in, the I told you so people come in to say that, I told you were buying Tesla stock at way too high of prices, when in reality, it's just the whole stock market is down. And of course, a disruptive stock like Tesla, a disruptive company that is on the cutting edge of revolutionizing an industry, and considering that it's already so volatile in the market already, of course Tesla is going to drop in value more than these other long-term solid companies like Microsoft and many others out there. So just a heads up, if there is a stock market crash, Tesla could easily drop 50% or maybe even a little bit over 50%. I mean, we've seen that already with this most recent peak. It went from $901 to $364. It says $427, but I remember specifically it went down to like $364 at the lowest. So actually, this stock went down 66% from that peak, and of course, a lot of the Tesla shorts and the Tesla Q people came in at this point and were saying, I told you this stock was way overvalued. But of course, now we are seeing that recovery once again, and I have a lot of faith in my investment. Even though I'm buying at high prices right now, I realize that I'm buying at high prices, but it's one of those stocks that is always going to have a premium to it because there's a lot of speculation, of course. But in addition to that, you have the premium based on Elon Musk being the CEO, which I would gladly pay for a premium price on a stock if their CEO was very good and does things that will benefit the company, like streamlining processes, coming up with revolutionary new ideas. And of course, one of the most important aspects of Tesla, which is gathering some of the best teams in the world together. Tesla commonly emphasizes gathering some of the most important people and the most knowledgeable people in a sector of their business. So for example, you have the software and firmware people. They really want to gather that niche group of individuals that know the most about that topic. So they're very good at gathering the best people for each individual specific niche group. So with that being said, I understand that the stock price is high, but with a lot of these disruptive companies out there, the stock price is always going to be high. That's like with Apple stock, you have a premium. That's like with Shopify stock right now, you have a premium. And I'm not saying these are the equivalent of Tesla. I think Tesla is a lot more disruptive, but it's just a little bit of evidence. For example, if we go over to Shopify, it's one of those stocks that has always been at a premium price ever since it shot up from like 2016 and on. I mean, even at this point, at $400 to $500 range, you were paying a premium price. It dropped back down. Of course, there's always that temporary opportunity for a short-term gain. But then, of course, after that, it surged way back up here, and it's at premium prices once again. So I'm not saying these are the equivalent to Tesla, but I'm just mentioning that a lot of these revolutionary and industry disruptive stocks are those that you will commonly have to pay a premium for, and it's just something that you have to chew and swallow it, because if you're investing in a high quality company, then I obviously don't mind paying a little bit of a premium in terms of price, especially if it's mostly always going to be at that premium or higher in value, which of course we can't guarantee with Tesla stock or any stock out there. But given my research and a lot of the history behind this company and what they plan on doing in the future, I really have a lot of faith in this, and I understand the risk that does go into play when you invest in a more speculative stock like this. But I think this is becoming less speculative and more based on a plan when it comes to the future, because they've done everything that they said they will do in the past, and now they're working on doing what they say they're going to do in the future. So I really believe in this company. I still think at $8.42, it's still a good price to invest in my opinion. Even at this price, I've already made a small profit with this $8.42 compared to what I purchased them for on Friday. On Friday, I purchased two at $8.37, and I've made like a $5 profit, so it's pretty solid so far. But just in general, overall, I'm a big fan of Tesla, and I believe that this will be a big stock for the long term. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, please make sure to smash that like button. And if you would like to begin investing, feel free to use my referral links to Robinhood and Webull down in the description below. If you sign up with my links, then we'll both get some free stocks, which is pretty awesome. Here is just one example. Nice passive income. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there.